Now it's 12 minutes to 1. Coming up, we'll have the 1 o'clock news for you. But first, let's just talk about the plight of new mums, because a survey out today says that a quarter of first-time mums say that they feel isolated and lonely after the birth of their baby. It's according to new research just out. Of those surveyed by the health insurer AXA PPP, a quarter have no family living nearby to help them share the work of looking after their baby. Factors that could be putting them at increased risk of mental health concerns, such as postnatal depression. Well, with me now is author Amy Ransom. She's written a blog called The Fourth Trimester about the first 12 weeks after a baby's born and new life as a mum. Thanks very much for coming in.
Pleasure.
It's a phrase, I've had 3 children. I've never heard this phrase,
never
fourth
heard
trimester,
it either.
before. It's interesting. What is it?
So basically, I'm the same. I've got 3 children and I hadn't heard it until my 3rd baby. And I actually saw it in a spa brochure and had to Google it. And it comes up and it's basically the first 12 weeks after you've had your baby. And what it says is that those first 12 weeks should be an extension of life outside the womb. So you kind of replicate the surrounding and the environment, but also you let yourself off the hook by saying, I've just had a baby. I'm not going to be back to myself in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. In reality, you might not even be back to yourself after that 4th trimester. But I think it's something that if we can lower expectations around new mums, if we can all acknowledge that actually we all feel a bit like this, we feel lonely, hormones are raging, we're sleep deprived, all these things, I think we can kind of manage it a bit better.
Yeah, I mean, it helps, as you say, if you at least think, oh, it's not just me that's failing to cope in this fog.
Absolutely.
What is going on? If you understand.
And 3rd time round, I felt this time that I should be, up and running and doing it all. 3rd time, I've done this twice before, but in reality, that wasn't what happened. And learning about the 4th trimester really, really helped me to slow down, to just think about things from a different perspective.
And I mean, people would say, well, it's great to sort of say slow down, and obviously everybody would hope that they could do that. But if you are in an environment where you've not got family support around you, how do you manage that?
That is very difficult. That is very difficult because you need people looking out for you. And I think that what the research has shown that AXA PPP and Net Mums have brought up is really interesting, because I think the onus isn't just on a mum. The onus is on all of us to look out for a new mum. So if you know a new mum that lives in your road, even if you've never spoken to her before, don't assume she's okay because she might have brushed her hair or she looks okay. She's probably having a challenging time like we all do. And I think if we try and change the way our society works a little bit, we can kind of break down that, because the reality is that people do live far from their families now and they don't live on top of each other. So I almost think we have to look at recreating a new family for ourselves, which is our community, our neighbours, getting out and meeting people and not being afraid to do that, not being afraid to speak to each other.
A friend of mine always quotes Hillary Clinton when she's talking about bringing up her own kids.
Yeah.
And she says, it takes a village. That's what Hillary Clinton says.
But
And it is everyone pulling together.
Absolutely. So I think that's what we need to do. I think we need to kind of look out for each other. And I think in that way, we can feel a little bit better supported, all of us mums, because we all find it hard. And I think the other thing that's really interesting is that this isn't something that, the survey is about new mums, first-time mums, but actually I would say that every time you have a baby, you are a new mum again, and you have at least a 6-month transition period. So you need to manage that in your mind, because it shocked me 3rd time to think,
same. I've done this before. Why is it exactly the same?
Why is this not easier?
Oh, Amy, thanks very much for coming in and talking to us. Thank you.